Have you ever wondered if you're actually on track to become a millionaire? Not someday. Not if everything goes perfectly, but based on the numbers you have right now, your age, your income, your savings, your investments, and how much you're investing every month. Because becoming a millionaire isn't just about making a lot of money. Someone earning $60,000 a year can potentially become a millionaire. Someone earning $200,000 can still end up with almost nothing. The difference isn't always income. It's what you do with the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And today, we're going to break down the numbers that can tell you whether you're actually on track. By the end of this video, you'll be able to look at your own situation and get a rough idea of whether you're heading toward $1 million or whether you need to make some changes. Let's start with the number that matters most. Number 1, your age. Your age changes everything. Why? Because time is one of the most powerful forces in investing. Imagine two people. Person A is 25 years old and has $20,000 invested. Person B is 40 years old and has $100,000 invested. At first glance, Person B looks far ahead, but Person A has something extremely valuable: time. If that $20,000 compounds for decades, it can potentially grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars without the person contributing another dollar. That's the power of compound growth. The earlier you start, the less money you may need to contribute later. And this creates an important rule. The goal isn't to become rich quickly. It's to give your money enough time to become large. Now let's look at some rough milestones. If you're around 25, having even $10,000 to $25,000 invested puts you in a much stronger position than someone who has nothing invested. At 30, you may want to be thinking seriously about reaching 6 figures in net worth. At 35, the goal becomes building momentum. At 40, your savings rate and investment balance become increasingly important. And by 50, the question isn't simply how much you earn. It's whether your existing assets are doing enough of the work for you. These aren't strict rules. Everyone's situation is different, but they're useful benchmarks. Because the worst financial mistake is assuming you have unlimited time. You don't. Number 2, your net worth. Here's a number most people don't pay enough attention to. Your net worth. It's simple. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Your investments. Your retirement accounts. Your cash. Your home equity. Minus your mortgage. Credit cards. Student loans. Car loans. And other debts. That's your net worth. And if your goal is to become a millionaire, your net worth is ultimately more important than your salary. You could earn $150,000 a year and have a net worth of negative $50,000. Or you could earn $70,000 and have a net worth of $300,000. Income tells you how much money comes in. Net worth tells you how much wealth you've actually built. So start tracking it, even if the number is small, because you can improve what you don't measure. Number 3, your savings rate. Now we get to one of the most important numbers of all, your savings rate. Let's say you make $6,000 per month after taxes. If you spend $5,800, you're saving only $200. That's a savings rate of about 3%. Now imagine someone else earns the same $6,000 but spends $4,000. They're investing $2,000 every month. That's a savings rate of about 33%. Same income. Completely different financial future. And this is why raises don't automatically make people wealthy. If your income increases by $20,000 but your lifestyle increases by $20,000 too, your financial position may barely change. You got richer on paper, but not necessarily in reality. If you're serious about becoming a millionaire, you need a gap between what you earn and what you spend. And that gap needs to become investments. Number 4, how much you're investing every month. This is where the millionaire math becomes interesting. Let's imagine you're starting from zero. You invest $500 per month. Assume your investments average roughly 8% per year over a long period. You aren't guaranteed to earn 8%. Markets go up. Markets go down. Some years can be terrible, but over long periods, compound growth can become powerful. At $500 per month, reaching $1 million could take several decades. Now increase the contribution to $1,000 per month. Suddenly, the timeline changes dramatically. Increase it to $2,000. It changes again. And this reveals something important. You don't necessarily need a massive income. You need a combination of time plus savings plus investing plus consistency. The four work together. If you're young, time is your biggest advantage. If you're older, your savings rate may need to become more aggressive. If your income is low, increasing your income can make a huge difference. And if you already have substantial investments, compound growth starts doing more of the heavy lifting. Number 5, your current investment balance. Here's a number people underestimate. Your first $100,000. Getting from $0 to $100,000 can feel painfully slow. You save. You invest. You watch the market move up and down, and it can feel like nothing is happening. But once your portfolio gets larger, the growth can become much more noticeable. Imagine you have $10,000 invested. A 10% gain would be about $1,000. That's nice. Now imagine you have $100,000. The same 10% gain would be $10,000. At $500,000, it's $50,000. And at $1 million, it's $100,000. Of course, markets don't produce a guaranteed 10% every year. But the example demonstrates why wealth can accelerate. Your money starts becoming large enough to generate meaningful gains on its own. That's why the first part of the journey can feel so difficult. You're doing most of the work. Later, your money can start doing more of it. Number 6, your income. Now let's talk about income. You don't need a six-figure salary to become a millionaire. But increasing your income can dramatically increase your options. Think about someone earning $50,000. If they can only invest $300 a month, progress may be slow. Now imagine that person develops a valuable skill and increases their income to $80,000. If they keep their lifestyle relatively stable and increase investing to $1,000 a month, their wealth-building engine becomes much stronger. This is why you should think about income differently. Don't just ask, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I increase my income without increasing my lifestyle at the same rate? That's where the real opportunity is. A raise can either make you wealthier or simply make your lifestyle more expensive. Number 7, your debt. Now we need to talk about the number that can completely change your trajectory. Debt. Not all debt is automatically bad. A mortgage, for example, is very different from carrying expensive credit card debt. But high-interest debt can destroy your ability to compound wealth. Imagine investing $500 a month while simultaneously paying huge amounts of interest on credit card balances. You're trying to build wealth with one hand while the other hand is pulling it away. So if you're carrying expensive debt, one of your highest priorities should usually be getting that under control. Because becoming a millionaire isn't only about investing. It's also about stopping unnecessary financial leaks. Number 8, your lifestyle. Here's the number nobody puts into a spreadsheet. Your lifestyle. How much does your life cost? Because your spending determines how much you can invest. And it also determines how much money you'll eventually need. Imagine two people who both have $1 million. Person A spends $100,000 every year. Person B spends $40,000. They have the same net worth. But their financial situations are completely different. This is why becoming a millionaire isn't necessarily the finish line. You need to know what kind of life you want your money to support. If your expenses keep growing every time your income rises, you may constantly feel like you need more. But if you keep your lifestyle under control, your investments have more room to grow. So, are you actually on track? Now let's put everything together. Ask yourself these questions. How old are you? What is your current net worth? How much do you earn? How much do you save? How much do you invest every month? How much high-interest debt do you have? And most importantly, how long do you have until you want financial independence? Because there isn't one universal millionaire formula. A 22-year-old with $10,000 invested and a growing career may be in a great position. A 35-year-old with $200,000 invested could also be in a great position. A 50-year-old with $500,000 may be closer than they realize. The important thing isn't comparing your numbers to someone else's. It's comparing your current numbers to where you want to go. Here's a simple test. Take your current investment balance. Then calculate how much you're investing every month. Now look at your age and your target age. If you're consistently investing and your contributions are increasing as your income grows, you're building the foundation. If you're earning more but your investments aren't growing, that's a warning sign. If your lifestyle is expanding faster than your income, that's another warning sign. And if you're waiting for the perfect time to start investing, you're giving away your most valuable asset, time. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail to become wealthy because they made one terrible investment. They fail because they wait. They spend everything they earn. They increase their lifestyle every time they get a raise. They carry expensive debt for years. And they keep telling themselves they'll start investing later. Then suddenly, 10 years have passed. The good news? You can change your trajectory. You don't need to become a millionaire next year. You need to make your numbers better every year. Increase your income. Control your lifestyle. Pay down expensive debt. Increase your savings rate. Invest consistently. And give compound growth time to work. Because wealth isn't usually built in one giant moment. It's built through thousands of ordinary financial decisions. So if you want to know whether you'll become a millionaire, don't look at someone else's Lamborghini. Don't look at their house. Don't look at their salary. Look at your numbers. Your age. Your net worth. Your savings rate. Your investments. Your debt. Your income. And your time. Those numbers tell a much more important story. And if your numbers aren't where you want them to be today, that's okay. Because the most powerful number in your financial life might be one you haven't reached yet. The number of years you still have to build wealth. Start with what you have. Invest what you can. Increase it over time. And let consistency do what motivation never can. Because becoming a millionaire isn't reserved for people who get lucky. For many people, it's the result of making reasonable financial decisions. For a very long time. The question isn't whether becoming a millionaire is possible. The real question is, are your numbers moving in the right direction? And if they're not, you still have time to change them.